Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, with our ongoing series on microeconomics, this is another lecture. Today we will be talking on price and output determination under cartels in the first half, whereas in the second session we would be discussing on price leadership models. And for this very discussion we have once again with us in our studios Dr. Kamlesh Ghakkar. Dr. Kamlesh Ghakkar is a professor in Institute of Management Studies and Research, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. Dr. Ghakkar's experience is very beneficial for us, and we believe that her experience would definitely enable us to understand today's topic. Dr. Ghakkar has written numerous books as well as her various research papers being published in reputed journals both at national and international levels. So let's welcome our guest Dr. Kamlesh Ghakkar and let's grab maximum knowledge through her. Hello ma'am, welcome to the UGC lecture.
Thank you. Dear viewers, yesterday I told you about how the price and output is determined under non-collusive oligopoly. But there are certain models which say that the firms recognize their interdependence in case of oligopoly and they enter into collusion. So today we will discuss about how the price is determined under cartels. Under oligopoly, firms are unaware of each other's reactions. To avoid uncertainty arising from oligopolistic interdependence, firms enter into collusive agreements. There are two types of collusion: cartels and price leadership. Both these forms generally imply tacit or secret agreements, since open collusion is commonly illegal in many countries at present. Now, what is a cartel? A cartel is a combination of firms whose object is to limit the scope of competitive forces within a market. We will discuss mainly two types of cartels. One is cartels aiming at joint profit maximization, and the other is cartels that are related to market sharing. Now, cartels aiming at joint profit maximization. Cartels imply direct, although secret, agreements among the competing oligopolists with the aim of reducing uncertainty arising from their mutual interdependence. Here the aim of the cartel is to maximize industry's profit or joint profit. We will concentrate on pure oligopoly, where all firms are producing a homogeneous product. A cartel management body is appointed to determine the uniform cartel price. Actually, this cartel management body must have knowledge of the market demand curve for the product. It should also be knowing about the summation of the marginal cost curves of individual firms. So, it will decide what is the output to be done and how it is to be distributed among participating members. Distribution of profit will also be decided by this cartel management body. Now, equilibrium price and output will be determined by the intersection of industries' marginal revenue and marginal cost curves. For the sake of simplicity, it is assumed here that there are only two firms in the cartel. Their cost structure is shown in figure 1a and figure 1b. Now, we have a look at figure 1. In figure 1, on x axis we have taken output, on y axis we have taken cost and revenue, and firm A's behavior is shown in the figure A. In figure B we have shown the firm B, and for industry we have the figure C. Now the cost curves are different. Firm A has higher average cost and marginal cost, firm B has lower average cost and marginal cost. In the figure C, BD is the market demand curve and MR curve is drawn here, and the MC is actually drawn by the horizontal summation of MC1 and MC2. So MC is equal to MC1 plus MC2. Now we see where this MC cuts MR. It cuts here at point E. So E is the equilibrium point. OM is the total output produced under this cartel, and OP price is fixed by the central agency. This price will be charged by both the firms A and B. This shows that firm A will produce OM1 output and firm B will produce OM2 output. Now this is showing that the firm B will be having less profits, but actually this is not the profit for firm B. Profit will be distributed by the cartel management body. It will decide how much profit will go to firm A and how much profit will firm B will be getting. No doubt the price chart is the same. So the low cost firm is producing OM1 output and high cost firm is producing OM2 output. So here the cartel management body has decided about the price and about the output and the allocation of output among the firms as well as the sharing of profits among the two firms. Now we will see that whether this profit is maximized actually or not. In theory, the firm or the cartel may decide the profit maximizing price and there will be profit maximization, but actually this is not achieved or this is very rare. So there are several reasons why industry's profit cannot be maximized even if there is a direct collusion. First reason is mistakes in the estimation of market demand. Generally, the firms take that the market elasticity of demand is quite less, that is underestimated, while each firm thinks that elasticity of demand for its own product or for its own demand curve is more elastic because of the availability of perfect substitutes or almost perfect substitutes which are produced by the rival firms. So because of the miscalculation of the demand, naturally the total market demand curve will also be wrongly drawn, and if we don't have the correct demand curve, marginal revenue will also be wrong, which is needed for the equilibrium to be decided. So the equilibrium price and output will not be related to the monopoly price and monopoly output because of the wrong estimation of the demand. Second is there are mistakes in the estimation of marginal cost. All the firms are having the different costs and it is assumed that the cartel management body knows the marginal cost of all the firms for adding them to get the large, or you can say combined marginal cost curve for the industry. But this cost is also not correctly estimated. Some firms generally tell their cost to be lower than what they actually are. So, due to the wrong estimation of marginal cost, there will be wrong position of equilibrium and the monopoly price will be different from the price which is actually set by the cartel. So, this is also one of the reasons that the price may not be the maximizing profit price and profits will not be maximum. And other reason is slow process of cartel negotiations. When the firms have to consult each other and the cartel body is decided, and naturally negotiations are based on the differences in cost structure, differences in the size of the firms and their market demands. So, it takes a long time to reach at some negotiated price, and once the negotiation price is reached, generally it is found that a long time has passed and the market conditions may have changed, leading to change in the cost, etc. So, this again may not be the monopoly price because of the slow process of negotiations. Then another reason is stickiness of negotiated price, that whatever price is negotiated, that is not changed immediately if there are changes in the market conditions. If the cost change or market demand is changing, but the price which is set by the cartel is not changed immediately, because already we know that the negotiation is a very slow process, it is a complicated process. So, the price remains sticky, it is not changed according to the requirements. Then another reason is that there is bluffing attitude of some members. No doubt all the members are required to charge the price which is set by the cartel, but some firms bluff it, and what they do, they start charging a lower price even before the cartel is formed. So, this also again leads to wrong calculations and monopoly price may not be set. Another reason may be fear of government interference. If a high price is charged which leads to profit maximization of the firms under cartel, naturally they are afraid that government may interfere and there may be wrong results, their firm may be taken over by the government. So, to avoid the government interference, they do not like to charge the monopoly price, they charge somewhat less than the monopoly price. Another reason is that the firms want to have a good public image. You know, public image is, if it is good, then it is very beneficial for the firm, because it can have more sales on account of that, it can have more loans, or it can have a good share market because of this good public image. And this public image will be good only if it is not charging a monopoly price, if it is not charging a high price. So, for having a good public image also, the cartel don't set the monopoly price which aims at profit maximization. Another reason is fear of entry of new firms. You know, if profit is very high because of the high prices, then new firms come to know that in this industry there are profits and they too would like to enter. And when new firms enter, we know that supply will increase, competition will increase, and naturally the profits of the existing firms will be reduced. So, they want that new firms should not come in the industry. So, to prevent the entry of new firms, this cartel price set is not the monopoly price. And another reason is that there is freedom regarding design and selling cost. No doubt the price is set by the cartel and all firms have to charge this price, but they are free to vary the style of their product, to carry on any selling activities. So, this way they go on increasing the advertisement cost on their product, and this leads to rising costs and the profits don't remain the maximum. So, these were the reasons that tell us that even under cartels it is not necessary that they will be having maximization of industry's profits. Now, we will do the second type of cartels whose aim is to share the market. This form of collusion is more common in practice because it is more popular. The firms agree to share the market but keep a considerable degree of freedom concerning the style of their output, their selling activities and other decisions. There are two basic methods for sharing the market. One is non-price competition and other is on the basis of quotas. Now, we will see what are non-price competition agreements. In this form of loose cartel, the member firms agree on a common price at which each of the firm can sell any quantity demanded. The price is set by bargaining, with low cost firms pressing for a lower price and the high cost firm for a higher price. The agreed price allows some profits to all members. The firms agree not to sell at a price below the cartel price, but they are free to vary the style of their product and or their selling activities. They compete on a non-price basis. That price will be the same, but they can compete on other fronts. Now, this form of cartel is indeed loose in the sense that it is more unstable than the complete cartel aiming at joint profit maximization. If all the firms have the same costs, then the price will be agreed at the monopoly level. However, with cost differences, the cartel will be inherently unstable because the low cost firms will have a strong incentive to break away from the cartel openly and charge a lower price or to cheat the other members by secret price concessions to the buyers. However, when some firms lose their customers, they come to realize that they are cheated by the rival firms, and these firms can split away from the cartel. So, that is why a price war may develop, leading to instability until only the low cost firms survive. So, we have shown here this in figure 2. There are two firms, firm A and firm B, and they form a cartel, and in the C figure we have shown the industry. Now, the cost is different in both the firms. Firm A is having the higher cost, firm B is having the lower cost, and output and price is determined here. OPM is the price determined in the industry, which is to be charged by both firm A as well as firm B. Now, see here that the firm B has lower cost, so it has the incentive to lower the price and attract more customers. So, there is incentive for the firms to break away from the cartel. Now, we will see that even if they have the same cost, then also one firm would like to reduce the price and attract more customers. So, that is why the cartels are short lived. They can't remain forever. Now, we will see how the sharing of market by agreement on quotas. Sometimes cartels use quota system for market sharing amongst the members. There is no uniform principle which can be followed for determining the quotas of various members. Theoretically, if all the members have identical cost, then monopoly price will be determined and total output will be the same as under monopoly. In this case, market will be shared equally. For example, if there are two firms in the market and they have identical costs, then each firm will sell one half of the output at monopoly price. We have shown this in figure 3, where monopoly price is OPM and agreed quotas are OM1 is equal to OM2, this is equal to half of the total market. This is shown in figure 3. In figure 3 we have shown that firm A has the demand curve D1 and MR1 its marginal revenue curve. Firm B has D2 as the demand curve and marginal revenue curve is there as MR2, and in industry we have taken the total demand curve. MC is drawn as horizontal summation of MC1 and MC2. So, MC is equal to MC1 plus MC2 and demand is also D1 plus D2. Now, we will see the equilibrium where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. So, it is here at E. So, the total output produced is OM and price charged is OPM, which is the monopoly price. Because both firms have the same cost, so they will charge the price OPM and output is OM1 by firm A, OM2 by firm B, and OM1 is equal to OM2. Both are having equal share of the market. Now, the size of the firm, its cost structure and its position in the cartel vis-a-vis other members are the most important factors in determining its quota. These determine the bargaining capacity of the firm in the cartel. Often, firms bargain for their quota on the basis of their sales in the pre-cartel period and or their existing productive capacity. Another popular basis on which sales quota are allocated to member firms is the geographical division of the market. In case of geographical sharing of the market, members have the freedom to set their own prices. So, in the geographical market sharing, now each firm has its own market and it has its own price. So, this way they are avoiding the competition. They are not entering into price wars because their market share is decided. They know that other firm is not going to sell the product in this market territory. These cartel models of collusive oligopoly are closed model, which implies that entry is ruled out. So, dear viewers, in this lecture we have seen that the firms join together, they form a cartel so that they don't enter into the price wars, because price war would lead to reduction of profits for the firm and it is the customers who will be the gainers. So, in cartels we have seen that it can be a cartel on the basis of market sharing, or there can be a central agency which will decide about the price to be charged, and this central agency itself will allocate the output among different firms. And in market sharing, we have seen that the competition is on the basis of non-pricing factors, that they can advertise more, they can incur more expenditure on selling activities, but they charge the same price. And we have also seen that these cartels cannot remain forever, because some firms may have the incentive to reduce the price and attract the customers. They will be cheating the other firms, and once the other firms come to know about the cheating, and they come to know because they are losing their customers, so then there is a split, or cartels are you can say cartels break down, because naturally all the firms will not have trust on each other when they start charging lower prices to attract the customers. And these cartels, they are not legal in any country. These are the secret agreements. So, but still these cartels are there in the you can say international area as well as on the national area. Thank you. Dear viewers, in this module we are going to discuss about how the price and output is determined under price leadership model in oligopoly. Another form of collusion is price leadership. In this form of coordinated behavior of oligopolists, one firm sets the price and others follow it. They follow it because it is advantageous to them, or because they prefer to avoid uncertainty about their competitors' reactions, even if this implies departure of the followers from their profit maximizing position. Price leadership is widespread in business world. It may be practiced either by explicit agreement or informally. In nearly all cases, price leadership is tacit, since open collusion agreements are illegal in most countries. Price leadership is more widespread than cartels because it allows the members complete freedom regarding their product and selling activities, and thus it is more acceptable to the followers than a complete cartel which requires the surrendering of all freedom of action to the central agency. If the product is homogeneous and the firms are highly concentrated in a location, the price will be identical. However, if the product is differentiated, prices will differ by the direction of their, but the direction of their change will be same, while the same price differentials will broadly be kept. Following are the most common forms of price leadership. These are the three main forms of price leadership. One is price leadership by a low cost firm, price leadership by the dominant firm, and barometric price leadership. We will discuss this one by one. So, these are the forms of price leadership examined by the traditional theory of leadership developed by Fellner and others. Here the leader sets the price on marginalistic rule, that is, marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. The other firms are price takers who will not maximize their profit by adopting the price of the leader. If they do, it will be by accident rather than by their own independent decision. Now, price leadership by the low cost firm. In an oligopolistic market, sometimes price is set by the most efficient or the low cost firm, and although other firms don't maximize their profits at this price, yet they have no choice but to accept it. This is called price leadership by the low cost firm. We explain this model with an example of duopoly. It is assumed that there are two firms producing a homogeneous product at different costs, which clearly must be sold at the same price. The firms may have equal markets, and this we have shown in figure 1, or they may have unequal markets, which is shown in figure 2. The important condition for this model is that firms have unequal costs. Now, in figure 1, output is shown on x-axis, and on y-axis we have shown price, cost and revenue. DD is the market demand curve, and actually it is the summation of the demand curve of firm A and demand curve of firm B, and here we have assumed that both are having same demand. So, the D and small d will be the demand curve faced by each firm, and ACA and MCA are the cost curves of firm A. This is the low cost firm, and ACB and MCB are the cost curves of firm B. Now, A is the low cost firm, so it will be the price leader. It will set the price, it will see where its marginal cost is cutting MR. The MR1 is equal to MR2, and it is related to the demand curve faced by each individual firm. We see that firm A will see that equilibrium is at EA, where MC is cutting MR. So, the output produced is OM1 by firm A and price set is OPA. This price will be charged by the firm B also, and firm B will be producing M1 output that is equal to OM1. Both are supplying the same amount of output. If B firm has to see its own equilibrium, it would have been at point EB where its MC is cutting MR, and at that point we see it would have produced OMB output which is less than OM1, and it would have charged OPB which is higher than OPA, but because of the price leadership it is charging OPA, and naturally its profits will be less. Had it charged OPB, it will get more profits, but now it is getting comparatively less profits, but it still adopts the price which is set by the leader because it does not want to enter into any price wars, and in that case this war will continue on until it may happen that the price falls below even its long run average cost and it may have to close down. So, it is better to remain in the industry and charge a low price which is set by the low cost leader firm. In the figure 2, we are showing the low cost price leader, but the firms are having unequal market size. So, you see here again output is shown on x axis and on y axis we are showing price, cost and revenue. DDA is the demand curve faced by firm A, DDB is the demand curve faced by B. Firm B has less demand as compared to firm A. So, naturally their marginal revenues will also be different. MRA is the marginal revenue curve of firm A and MRB is the marginal revenue curve of firm B, and their respective average cost and marginal cost curves are also shown. ACA and MCA are the average cost and minimum marginal cost curve of firm A. They are at lower level, and average cost of firm B is ACB, marginal cost of firm B is MCB. They are at a higher level. Now, we can see that the low cost firm again here is the leader. So, it will see where is the equilibrium. Now, MCA is cutting MRA at point EA. So, at this point what you see that output produced is OMA by firm A and price is OPA. So, this price is set by the low cost leader firm, and firm B will also charge this price OPA. At this price we can see what is the demand for firm B. This is OMB. This is the output being supplied by the firm B in the market at price OPA. Had it seen its own equilibrium, then the equilibrium would have been at EB, where MCB is cutting MRB, and we see here that at this output would have been OMBE, which is less than OMB, and price is OPB, which is more than OPA. So, we find here that no doubt the profit maximizing price for firm B is higher, but still it is accepting the low price which is being set by the low cost firm, and here they have unequal market size. To avoid the uncertainties regarding the reactions of the rival firm, the firm is better accepting the price set by the leader firm rather than setting its own price. Now, we will see the other leadership model, that is the price leadership by the dominant firm. In this market, it is assumed that there is a large dominant firm which has a considerable share of the total market, and some smaller firms, each of them having a small market share. So, in this model, we will see that the dominant firm will be the leader, it will set the price, and all the smaller firms will follow the price set by the leader. So, in this, the dominant firm should have knowledge of the supply curves of all the smaller firms. So, it will see the and find out the summation of marginal cost curves of the smaller firms to get the supply curve of small firms, and it must have knowledge of the market demand curve for the product. Now, it will see that at each price, what is the total demand, what is being supplied by the smaller firms. So, what is not supplied by the smaller firms will be supplied by the dominant firm. So, at each price, it will come to know what is its supply or what is its demand for the product in the market. So, this way we will derive the demand curve for the dominant firm, and when we know the demand curve, we will draw marginal revenue curve, and again the equilibrium will be set by the marginalistic rule where MC is equal to MR, and this is shown in figure 3. So, you can see here that in the left hand panel we have shown the demand curve faced by all the firms, even including the small firms and dominant firm. So, DD is the market demand curve, and we are showing output on x axis and price on y axis, and this P3S is the supply curve of smaller firms which have been derived by the summation of marginal cost of our smaller firms. This tells us what is being supplied by the smaller firms. Now, from this, the dominant firm can know what is the demand for its product in the market at various prices. So, we will see when the price is OP1, then the total demand is P1D1, and this total demand is being supplied by small firms. So, the supply of the dominant firm is 0. So, at OP1 there is 0 demand for the product produced by the dominant firm. So, the demand curve of dominant firm will start from OP1. When the price is OP2, then you see that total demand is P2DL. Out of it, P2A is being supplied by the smaller firms. So, the remaining part ADL will be supplied by the dominant firm. So this is also equal to P to K. So we get another point K, and at price OP3, what do you see? That nothing is supplied by the smaller firms because their cost is higher, so they are not ready to sell at this price. At this price, the demand, whole of the demand is being met by the dominant firm. So at this price, we see that there is total demand for the dominant firm. After this, there is only demand for dominant firm. So this is the P1DL is the demand curve for the dominant firm, and accordingly we draw the marginal revenue of leader firm. This is the average cost of leader firm. This is the marginal cost of leader firm. Now leader firm will see that where MC is cutting MR, and on this basis it is decided that price charged is OP and output produced is OM. So at this price we can see what is the supply by the smaller firms and what is the supply by the dominant firm. So you see here at OP price, the total demand in the market is PC. Out of it, PB part is being supplied by the smaller firms. So the remaining part is BC. Actually, this BC part is equal to OM or PT. So you see that this price will be followed by all, and the output is shared among the dominant firm and the smaller firms. Dominant firm is producing OM, while the remaining part, which is PB, that is supplied by the smaller firms. So this way, but this will be beneficial, or this will go on only when the dominant firm sees to it that the smaller firms are producing their quota and they are charging the price which is set by the leader. Because if they produce less, then they may lead to the reduction in profits of the leader firm. And it is essential, or you can say this price leadership model will apply only if the dominant firm is having complete knowledge of the market demand for the product and is knowing the supply curves of all the smaller firms. On that basis, this price leadership model will remain in existence. So this was the price leadership by the dominant firm, that in order to avoid price wars, in order to avoid uncertainties, smaller firms follow the price set by the leader, which is the dominant firm. So now we come to the barometric price leadership. Now here all firms agree to follow the price change made by a firm which supposedly has good knowledge of the market conditions and thus can forecast future happening in the market better than others. In short, the firm chosen as the leader is considered as a barometer, reflecting the changes in economic environment. Barometer tells us about what is going to happen in future. So barometric firm is also like that. It is not necessary that it is a low cost firm or it is a large firm having the large size of the market. Usually it is a firm which from the past behavior has established the reputation of a good forecaster of economic changes. This firm has been in existence for a long time. It has more experience and it has expertise in knowing what is going to happen in future, what will be the changes in cost and demand, and how will they affect the prices and profitability. It can better predict the changes in future. You know, if the firms know the changes in future, they can take decisions at present. They can find out what will be the opportunities, what will be the challenges, and if they don't act accordingly, they are going to be the losers. So that is why a firm which is the best in forecasting is like a barometric firm, and it is chosen as the leader firm by all other firms. Now naturally this barometric firm will set the price and all other firms will follow that. If the products are identical, then naturally same price will be charged. But if the products are not identical, then prices of different products are different, but the change or the direction of the change in price will be followed. That if leader firm is increasing the price, they too will increase the price and their price differentials will almost remain the same as they were earlier. So we see that how the barometric firm becomes the leader. Then it is not necessary that the leader firm is from the same industry. It may be from the different industry. Naturally, the industries are related to each other. One industry provides raw material to the other industry, or one industry is acting as a marketing for the other industry, because there are forward and backward linkages in the industry. So sometimes the barometric firm may be from the other industry. Just like we can say that a firm in the steel industry may be agreed as the barometric leader for the price changes in the motor car industry. You know, steel is very much used in the motor cars production. So if the firm which belongs to the steel industry, if it comes to know about the future changes, and it can better predict and it can set the price of the steel, and accordingly the price of the cars will also be changed, or it can set the price for cars also. So this is the type of the barometric price leadership. Now, why the firms agree to accept a firm as a price leader? There are mainly three reasons why a firm will be chosen as a barometric leader. Firstly, on account of great rivalry between large firms in an oligopolistic industry. There is generally no agreement on the choice of the leader. However, a firm which has established its reputation as a good forecaster becomes acceptable as a barometric price leader. So all the large firms don't have faith in each other. they don't agree on who should be the leader. So, but the firm which has been in existence for a long time and which has the reputation of the best forecaster, which has earlier also done the forecasting or done the predictions and they have been found true. So, all the firms accept this firm as the leader and follow the price set by it. Secondly, when the choice of a barometric price leader is made, the followers are not required to make continuous cost and demand calculations. Demand and cost conditions are very, very important for taking the decisions regarding price and output determination. So, a good firm is that, or a successful firm will be that which goes on forecasting what will be the cost in the near future, whether it is going to fall, whether it is going to rise, what will be the demand, what are the different determinants of demand, and experts are required to do the demand forecasting. It cannot be done by all the firms. They are not expert in this field. So, the firm which has the knowledge or which is spending a lot of money or has talented staff to do this calculations on cost and demand, so that is chosen as barometric leader, and other firms naturally they are not expert in that, so they depend upon this leader firm and they think it is better to follow the price set by this barometric firm. And another reason is that the barometric firm has proven the ability to forecast changes in the cost and demand conditions. Other firms can benefit by following its price policy. Whatever is already proved, then people start, or even the firms start believing that they have more faith in this firm, that it is a good predictor. So, in the future also it will be doing better for them. So, instead of deciding their own price, they accept the barometric firm as the price leader and follow the price. So, dear students, here we have seen that in order to avoid the uncertainty arising out of the reactions of the rival firms or to avoid the price wars, how the firms form or they select a leader firm which sets the price and others follow it. No doubt their profits may be less, but it is better than having no profits at all or having no market share. Thank you.
With this note, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much for giving us a very, very productive session. Dear friends, we believe that if you have any queries, then you can mail us at info.cc@nic.in. And yes, of course, your suggestions are also very, very important. If you want to have a session on any of the topics which you like to be covered, although we have covered maximum topics in the series, still you can mail us. This lecture is going to be uploaded on YouTube very soon for you. We will be meeting again very soon. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you.